Hey YouTube, my name's Leah Lauder and it's your favourite mega church cult survivor. Let me try and sit up. And I'm live on TikTok and I'm live on Instagram. Hey Miss Kiko, hey Jay, I got some weirdos on here, boy. I'm saying to them, like up the live. They're just on here reporting. Yeah, so I spent 18 years in a church cult and now I expose them. And today I'm going to be talking about loyalty and disloyalty because in cults, they're really big on this. Indoctrinating people to be loyal, like this, that, and the third. Guys, the angles today are crazy, but I'm not feeling well. This is just going to be a quick one. If you haven't checked out the series that I've been doing, I've got something on YouTube, my most recent live, and I've just gone through so much, guys. I'm not gonna recap on that, but what I will do today is let's look at an analysis on how quotes in the loyalty and disloyalty fake doctrine, because it's a very, very dangerous doctrine. It's the transcendental belief system that they have in there, which is the overarching vision of the cult leader, which is going to be, this obedient, aka loyal, soldier of Christ or whatever. So they're indoctrinating us to have to be in full submission and full obedience to the cult leader, and essentially the transcendental belief system is their overarching vision of the cult. So do you see how this all ties in together? So there's a quote and a teaching which is a false doctrine under Dag Heward-Mills, First Love, MSCI, PSCI, and this is a direct quote: learning from others except via your pastors is wrong. So in there, it's like loyalty is to the highest authority, is to your pastor. So the cult control mechanism at play here is information control and thought control. And why this is dangerous: it cuts off access to critical perspectives, makes the leader the only legitimate teacher. And that's like a characteristic. Do you get what I'm saying? It's like there's this charismatic leader. Guys, I'm so unwell, and I'm just a hair talking. If you don't know how unwell I am, Jer, that's why I'm just going to do a quick one, and then I think I'm going to have to rest. Oh God, I've got to take my antibiotics as well. All right, let me just do that. So do you see, guys, through information control, because the cult leader is the infallible truth. The cult leader is the infallible truth. So anyone that speaks against the cult leader or the teachings that are in there, you're automatically seen as an enemy. So do you see where the black and white thinking comes into it? Because it's information control, that's part of it. Black and white thinking and isolation. One of the survivors were like to me, Leah, you've been ill for too long. Take the antibiotics. Thanks for liking the live, Princess. If you're on here, please help to like the live, guys. Then we've got loyalty must be to the highest authority. That's the transcendental belief system. It's the control and moral leverage. So that's where they change all of our morals. So I said you've got to reestablish your morals, your values, even your beliefs, because they would have just made you so traumatized that's why people just say, oh, I'm atheist, because they're so traumatized by the Bible. Thanks for the follow, Princess. And I'm not saying if people are atheists it's wrong, because they got much more common sense. I'd rather that, because me, I'm married to my boyfriend that was unalived by the police, so I'm not getting with anyone else. But if I was, I'd rather get with an atheist than someone who's doing up church. That is on period, point blank. All right. So this transcendental belief system positions leaders' hierarchy as sacred. So remember, they create all of these, guys. I might even be closing my eyes as I'm doing this. I'm so ill. They create these fake systems and structures and laws, and so it becomes the kingdom of the cult leader, because what they say goes. So that's why I liken it to these African homes, with the aunties and uncles. That's why a lot of these kids go in there, because they've got that dynamic of a relationship with their parent. They can't talk back, they can't answer back, they've got to be obedient, they've got to be subservient. So a lot of these kids, they're all over TikTok saying, I have no identity, who am I? The trauma, cycle breakers, and I'm so proud of them, because where does this come from? You can't talk to an older, and so an older is a narcissist, and is your dad is a narcissist and sleeping around, and you can't tell your dad this is wrong. Are you all right? What? He shouldn't be exposing you to that behavior in the first place. If your dad's got kids outside of the marriage, or he's doing A, B, C, and D, it is your business. He's made it your business. But there's been so much gaslighting. And they do the same thing in these places of worship. All right. So it positions the leaders as sacred, their hierarchy, and unchallengeable. And guys, how much does that resonate? You can't challenge these people. Are you all right? Let me see if it's... Oh, yeah, babe. Is that going to stay? Yes, bitch. It's not the best angle, but... Oh, God, I look a mess. What's going on? 1 minute, guys, because it's just looking like a hot mess on there. Yeah, to just fix the jumper, baby. Are you all right? You lot know I got a lot of haters. I can't be bothered. This is a rare time to see me in like casual wear. So enjoy it. Hey, Ange, the last time I was in like this type of fit was like 2002. You know, when I thought I was a bad girl in South London. Used to wear the jeans under the trackies. I used to think I was so bad. Hey, say no to cult. I used to think I was so bad. Do you not know why they wear jeans under trackies? If you don't know, get to know. If you don't know, if you don't know, say in the comments and I'll tell you. I thought I was a bad girl. Oh my God. Where was I going with the jeans under the tracksuit bottoms, please? Oh, you don't know. All right. So it's if I say it's to hold things like tools. That's why the man them have like, they'll have jeans or they'll have like trackies under trackies. That's the purpose, to help them carry their tools. Yeah. I used to think I was bad. Oh my God. Ooh, I used to think I was a bad man outside in these streets. Are you all right? Okay. And then we've got you must disclose everything to the senior. Secrecy equals disloyalty. So surveillance, confession, and leverage. This is what they're doing up. So this forces internal transparency, gives leadership knowledge over personal lives. That's what they want to do. They want to control your lives. And then that's when you'll just be sitting down innocently, coming to church one Sunday, you know, and they'll start talking about your marriage, like just in front of everyone. Like they'll just be rebuking you, you know, because the husband's gone and snitched. And so the whole service, you know, like when they do their services and the whole service is about like this lazy wife. And, you know, we're none the wiser because we're just so traumatized, just in there, you know, just needing a dopamine hit. We're so addicted to that dopamine hit, you know, the oxytocin that comes out of, you know, getting that prophetic word. It's not even about getting the prophetic word. It could be the friendship. Guys, they will take anyone. They will take anyone within reason, because you can't make noise in there. Like some really vulnerable people came, hey, Miss CHM, like, you know, they got like mentally struggling, yeah. They'd be shouting in the church. And I would always feel angry, you know, when the ushers just remove him, because how is that helping him? They just want to have like everything perfect, this squeaky clean image. Everyone must sit there in silence for hours. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's just giving lave master. It's just come on, guys. This is what they used to do to us, like back in the day. It's all there, guys. Just go on ChatGPT and ask them. Go on ChatGPT and ask them to help you deconstruct Christianity and the transatlantic times, yeah, and how that correlates. But also, this is all one question, but also to help you separate who Jesus is from the way that the Bible was manufactured and put together. You don't want to question the divinity or like his sonship or anything like that. You're just deconstructing how they put the book together, because remember, guys, Jesus spoke in parables in secret. What they've tried to do is they've tried to put it all together to create their own magic, start magic that they've wrapped in religion. That's what it is. All right, guys. And what I want to let you know is there's been so many changes. It's not even about the versions. It's about the changes that happened historically. So when you're asking ChatGPT the three most important things to help you deconstruct Christianity, you don't want to know about the sonship of Christ because you believe in that. But what you're looking for is how the book has been changed and manipulated and put together for the purpose of, you should screen record this. I'm going to say it again. Because ChatGPT, depending on how you answer the question, it will depend on the information that it gives you. So the first thing that you're going to ask it is how I need to deconstruct Christianity. I don't want this to include or involve the sonship of Christ, because if you believe in Christ, you already believe in Christ, because that's going to confuse you. That's why people are scared to deconstruct. Just go in with it like you believe Jesus is the Son of God in it. Like, that's not going to change. So you're not looking. I haven't looked into none of that. I don't care. Me not care. Me not blood clot care. But what I do care about is how you've manipulated my Lord and Savior's word, and how you've silenced the voice of the women. So the question that you need to be doing up after that is how was the Bible manipulated and like manufactured and put together over time to benefit political imperial regimes, also like civil unrest, and especially religions. So like the Protestants and the Catholics, there was, and then there's also, I think it's the Nicaea Creed. So there's specific things that you need to understand in how the book has been manipulated. And also another thing that I recommend you look into, not too deeply, but have a look into Gnosticism just briefly. You don't need to go into that rabbit hole because it may confuse you. But the main thing that you need to gather from that is that they were believing in and worshipping a completely different type of Christianity for 300 years. Which was literally that they believe that the God of this world and the God of like is basically like the devils. There's like some demigod. It's completely different. It's completely different, chair. So that's why they demonize like the Gnostics. Because don't you see, like the Gnostics is all about going within as well. It's not about like congregational. So that's why they had to change it. That is the one world order. They've manipulated the book. And then another thing as well is that type of because it's not knowledge, sacred knowledge, yeah. It's not, you can't teach it. Hey babe, you can't teach it. Because I could read a verse, you could read it, but everyone could get a different revelation, I don't know, perspective, whatever. Depending on your life path, depending on your experiences, depending on a lot of things. So I believe it's like thanks, Anna. I believe it's like a life map for yourself. That's why Jesus Christ spoke in parables. That's why he said you have eyes and you don't see, you have ears and you can't hear. That's the point. So because they've done it, like they've tried to like make it a business and manufactured it, packaged it into like a digestible way, but they can manipulate. They can benefit. It was never about that for Christ. Listen, if you claim that you believe in Jesus Christ and you got like millions in your bank, and there are people all around the world that are starving, you claim to have a church, there's no way, guys, I could be a millionaire and I've got survivors who are struggling. Absolutely, there's no way I could, because what do you really need here? If they claim that heaven is their real home, is heaven, one day, Lord, I will be in your courts, you'll find me in worship at your feet. Hide me now in the power of your wings. It's where we'll be. This is how dumb they got us in on. That's where we'll be. That's what they got us doing up in there. Everyone's indoctrinated. These are the songs we're singing, home is heaven. So if that's what you're really on, then why are you keeping all that money? What is it there for? What is it there for? You're going to go here, you're going to leave here with what? That's what I'm saying. The most worldly type of people that you got in there are these type of man them in these places of worship. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. They're addicted to world domination. World domination, ego, control, power. That's why I believe that US president is in that position. I believe that God has allowed it to be so, because it's like we're seeing how dangerous it is when someone like that with those closed-minded, quite just, and it's just EVIL views. That's all it is. And again, it's not the teachings, it's not the book, it's the interpretation. They're cults. It's the interpretation of it. And so what we're seeing is that this religion has been used to control, but it's not working. It can't work in this time. Like we're all questioning how he even got there. I don't think he won it fairly either. It's not adding up. But the people that voted for him regret it now, innit? All right. Let's look at you lot might see a lot of snot and bogey today. Then we've got bounded choice. No, sorry, we've got repeated theme of hierarchical loyalty. But this is bounded choice and identity control. This narrows perceived options, either complete loyalty or being labeled disloyal. No room for nuisance. There's also wow, 177 people on the FYP. Oh my God. Why are you not on the FYP? Do you know what? Sometimes I like watching from the FYP. Menakir. Just be free. All right. So do you see how that bounded choice? And then you've got to remember there's the information control at play. There's the Malao control. It's an echo chamber in there. It's in the name. Everyone's echoing what the cult leader's saying. And that is the chamber with the echoing. Because you know what it is in there? It's shallow. There's no depth. That's why they have to use black magic and dark psychology. Yeah. So all I'm doing is I'm just matching their energy. How I am is I match your energy. If you come with love, you come with good vibes, you're going to get that Leah. But if you come, it's like, you want to, let's line it up. Let's go. I don't like talking. I get very angry very quickly. I've probably got ADHD, autism, BPD, and CPTSD combined. So I can't even, when people are trying to come at me and that, I can't even conceptualize it. I just get angry. Yeah. Let's match the energy. That's what we're on. We're not doing up fake. And that's why this is a losing battle for them, because it's not about the smiles and the love woman and we've clocked it now. We've clocked it. What are you doing for the community? What have you done to give back to the community? I don't care what you're doing in Africa. We don't care about Ghana. We can't see that, baby. How many of us are really going to be able to afford a ticket to be going and fluing out to Ghana and wherever it is that they're doing up their empires? These, you see these mugs and whatever, yeah? They're just like the uncles. They come here, they like for this guy, Dag Heward-Mills, England was, because we need to speak in past tense now because the attendance has gone down and people ain't giving like they used to. England was the cash cow. This guy, when I tell you in the 90s and the 2000s, he rinsed us out differently. That's why when it comes to financial exploitation, like the survivors of today, they're not going to ever understand what we went through. Thanks for the follow, babe. They're never going to understand. There's survivors that have sold properties that would have been worth millions today in London. Back then, these properties were worth like £400,000. People have given up land. I know of a pastor that sold his home to build this annex bookshop. Can you imagine? That's someone's retirement, man. EVIL. So this man will have to be working till what age? Especially when you're using church funds. Yeah, that's when there's a curse. Do you get what I'm saying? And the thing is, look, even there, he's pointing fingers. They're always pointing fingers. They point fingers at everybody else but themselves. And now it's got to the point where they've been left at their own devices for so long. It's like Saul. It's like, I believe they went through a time. You know, Saul in the Bible, King Saul, not Paul, Saul before his name was changed. King Saul back in the day, the one that was hating on David. That was Jonathan's dad, innit? And he left him. He left him for his own mind, like to devour him. Like he left him to his own foolishness, to to perish. And that's exactly what's happened. Because now in 26, it's like a light bulb. It's like it's just people are just waking up. It's a spiritual awakening, and there's nothing they can do about it. It's been written in the stars. It doesn't matter how they try to. It's just not going to work. Because how long have these religions been around for, and how has it helped humanity? How has it helped humanity? Apart from cause strife, division, wars, arguments, seclusion, unalivement. There's nothing, it does nothing good. Does nothing good. Yeah. And I think we just need to face it. And the ones that want to be there, let them be there. Because as I said, we will never have enough mental health services, support services to, support all of these people in religious psychosis. We're not going to. So they need to stay in there because they're a risk to themselves and the public. But they need to be left with the people that are at that point where they can't use them to build things. And they've just got people in there with issues. Now do some real work. And that's what's happening. All of their creme de la creme, all of their members that could do anything. You've got me feeling emotions higher than I've ever dreamed of. You've got me feeling emotions higher than I've ever dreamed of. I'm just getting over like literal tonsillitis. But I can sing at the level of Mariah, Whitney, and that's me sitting down in bed. It's 11 a.m. Throat is croaky. Yeah. So Missy HM, can you be a mod for me, babes? Because the person below you, the Black Pope, can we just show him a warm welcome? So all of their creme de la creme, anyone who had a bit of talent, a good heart, like they're all leaving. They're all getting up, packing their bags and going. So what's happening is it's becoming darker. There's just either young people, they've got a lot of people that they can't trust. Because remember, it's not about the numbers. You got to have pillars. You got to have loyal people. You got to have people to stand by you and build the church. Like that's how they do it, by their hands, their human hands, because God ain't hearing them. So now that they got to the point where people are awakening, God is not hearing their prayers. And now they're going to see it as clear as day. So now what's happening is people are leaving in droves because they're sitting there. It's only narcissists that are going to stay in there. Narcissists, men who want to leave and a pick me shot. And that's why I'm saying they should be together. These people who are low vibrational EVIL, they need to be together. They need to have like a death roll. It's a life sentence. Thanks, John. And I've been in a celibate single marriage for almost a decade, and I can tell you that it is HEOL. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. So there's people that are locked in for life. You are a mod, babe. You are. You just got to press on him and block him. You are a mod, my love. You just got to press on the name. You're already a mod on this account. All right. I think we're getting the gist. Eddie, are you? I take it that you're one of Dag's people. Looks like they're all coming on. Anyway, come on. Minna blood clot here. All right. So these false EVIL teachings of loyalty and disloyalty mirror major control techniques from Lifton and Hassan's bite model and bounded choice. So Lifton's Milal control and confession, it shows controlling information and forcing confessions. They force confessionals. There's forced confessionals in there. They want you to tell you they want you to tell them your whole business, how many people you've slept with. My pastor asked me straight off the bat, Leah, how many people have you been with? And I told him, and I was 19, and he was like, oh, I thought it'd be a lot more than that. You know, when I think back, I'm just like, whoa. They've got a lot of judgment towards like pretty women. Because I'm going to say beautiful women have a lot of power. A beautiful woman can take one of their strongest members, and then remember they're fixated on this Jezebel that had all this power and took back. So any woman that walks in her true authenticity, says no to these patriarchal, misogynistic systems. Yeah, it's terrible, Kira. She's branded as like a Jezebel and demonized. So that's the usual rhetoric that's been silencing women, keeping them in ABUSC marriages. That's why our aunties, our mothers, well, not my mum, because my mum, when the man them's not acting right, my mum's dropping you like a fly. She's an empress. But for most of y'all, your mums would have been laves. That's just the truth. I've got to keep it real. So you wouldn't have had a chance because you weren't raised by a queen. And I know this might be a bitch, but I've got to just tell you the truth, guys. Your dad probably, was like a doormat. you know, hyper religious. If you've come from that, you've got to put in extra work, because if your mum has that rhetoric, you've been born into it. You're a second gener. So you've been born into that insanity. You've had, like, from a baby, your brain, you've been molded to be hyper religious. You've been born into that craziness. Like, dysfunctionality is seen as functionality. Like, in reality, if you're on here, stop using my content, man, my little taglines. You know, he's been trying to talk like me, and you just stop it, babe. It's giving princess. All right, let's go on to Hassan's information and thought control. So we've got stigmatizing external sources and shaping beliefs. So back in my day, you weren't allowed to read any other book apart from Dag. And then there were like authorized people you could listen to, which included Benny Hinn, a guy called Robert Slyden. It's now come out that he's LGBTQ+, and I'm happy for him. He should be himself, but Dag was really waving that flag for Robert Slyden. He came, he preached. I've got a book, God's Generals, and it's got Robert Slyden signed it. Yeah. And then another one was Reinhard Bonnke. Another one was Kenneth Hagin. And then there was one more, Eastwood Anaba. Hey, official posh vibes. And then there was also Kakra Baden, because he's the only one in the whole denomination that is allowed, keyword there, allowed to write books. I think one other pastor has written a book in the whole denomination, which was, I think, Bishop Oko, but he is unalive now. Oh gosh, I was in that church. I was part of the furniture, babe. Was she in there? Were you in First Love? The grandfather of First Love, Bishop Oko, R.I.P. Where you going? I had his number. We used to chat. He used to love me. He loved my voice because he was a singer. Bishop Oko, like, he was a singer. Hey, JB, he had a beautiful voice. Hey, Haynes. And so he loved my voice. All right, then we've got bounded choice, narrowing options so that external redress or dissent seems impossible or disloyal. So you can't have your own opinion. You can't have your own thought. And they groom you to be like that as well. Thanks, King. They groom you to be like that from young. From young. So if you're born into it, you really don't stand a chance. So for all the second geners, thanks for the follow, Georgia. For all the second geners, I need you to, like, be kind to yourself. I need you to love on yourself, man, because I will never understand what it's like to be a second gener, to be born into that. I will never understand it. I will never be able to comprehend it. And for you to just be waking up and doing you every single day, it's enough. Don't be too hard on yourself. Be kind to yourself, man. If you have a different opinion or different view, it seems I've been argumentative or challenging. Yeah. Can Missy HM, can someone pin that, please? That's exactly it. Because, babe, do you know what that's about? Yeah. You see, when we have a differing opinion, or we so-called challenge something that they're saying, even when it's like statistically wrong, it causes a narcissistic injury. So that's why we're saying that the people in there are in religious psychosis, because we're telling you factually, this is what it is, like A, B, C, and D. There's thousands of survivors that are speaking out. Even if it's one woman that's come out and said a pastor has eaten from the great bowl, that should be enough to make you question that environment as a female. There's that cognitive dissonance. They lack empathy. Don't you get it? And they pull, like, when you're in there, it's like, and this is why I'm saying it's spell work. It's dark spell work. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, if I'm telling you it's spell work, bitch. That's what I've said to you lot. And when the time's right, when I have to draw myself out to really expose them, I will. I'll tell you lot exactly how they do it, what they do. I'm gonna do it all up, but it's we have to be ready, because at the moment there's like a outpouring of survivors speaking out, contacting me. I've got the cry of mothers at the moment, the cries of parents reaching out to me, family members, you know, because they've broken up families. But I do want to say, guys, please, like, just be kind to yourself, survivors, man, because we've been through a blood clot lot. They controlled absolutely every single area and element of our lives. I feel like I'm 18. My child is so big. My child's going to be 12. My child's going to be 12. And I just have to be her best friend and just try and be there for her the best I can. Because time stopped for me. That's what they do. They ruin people's lives, man. So in a cult, proclaiming loyalty to highest authority means that even abuse or crime happens, victims are taught to root everything internally. So keep everything internally. They teach you not to go to no external sources. So this is why a lot of the eating from the great bowl, the essay, the PDFs, everything, it's been swept and brushed under the carpet. They just transfer the posters and they just transfer the mogs. Oh, was you in there for 10 years? All right, so now I'm going to move on to the next part, guys. All right, so now we're going to be doing up deconstruction. So now I'm going to deconstruct and deprogram you around loyalty and disloyalty. So this will come with a trigger warning, especially if you're from first love survivors. This is going to trigger quite a bit. And if you're not from first love, what you're going to realize at this moment is that it's about the tactics that they use. All right, so we're going to be understanding how Dag Heward-Mills teachings were used to control, silence, and indoctrinate. So these excerpts from Loyalty and Disloyalty show how a simple message about faithfulness was turned into a psychological control system in which they colonized your mind. Each quote is followed by a plain English explanation of what it does to the human mind, based on cult psychoed, trauma theory, and neuroscience. So this is the first one. There is nothing wrong with assistants who are constantly learning from outside ministers, but there is something very wrong when these associates never seem to learn from their own pastors. So do you see the psychology in that? And what you'll find with these cult leaders is they contradict themselves. So there'll be a lot of cognitive dissonance because they'll say one thing 1 minute and then they'll change it up and say another thing. So you go through like that. Oh, didn't he say that yesterday? Oh, but he is the prophet. He's the anointed man of God. I have to go. You know, it's like that. So let's look into deconstructedness. Let's break this down. So this sounds harmless, but it's a classic form of information control. It makes you feel guilty for learning from anyone outside of the cult leader. That's how they close your mind without you realizing, because you're just taking in information from the cult leader, then whatever the branch pastor is. They've all got the mind. They're mini Dag Heward-Mills or mini David Antries or mini whatever, because everybody's got the mind of the cult leader. They've been so indoctrinated that what happens is they put on the cult pseudo personality of the cult leader. My lovely sister, hey. And then they start to walk, talk, and act, and they're really encouraged to walk, talk, and act like the cult leader. So you lose all sense of self. Then they create this pyramid scheme, this ranking, titles, positions. Your whole life is consumed by this. They tell you to be a good Christian, to make it to heaven. You know, evil communication corrupts good character. It's not good character influences evil communication. They start to twist and manipulate the scriptures to fit into their cult control tactic mechanisms. That's what they do up to colonize your mind. I want you to understand that these portions, these mugs, whatever, they are absolutely no different from the transatlantic masters. They're absolutely no different. It's the same tactics and the same book that they used. All right. That's why they got us to pay a tax on Sundays. That's where the concept of tithing comes from. Do your history. Do your history. This isn't about Christ. Christ is something completely separate. This is how men have taken an account or a story or a truth and manipulated it to twist the original message to get people to be like slaves, like to fit into the system. Can't you see? So they frame outside wisdom as rebellion. This is really important because even from the beginning, the apple is demonized. It's the knowledge. It's demonized. And any woman that comes against patriarchal, misogynistic structures, they're demonized. And it teaches that only the pastor's words are pure. Over time, this rewires your brain to distrust independent thought, what psychologists call bounded thinking. What you'll find when you leave as well is you become so codependent on the system, speaking to someone. They call it like accountability. It's so triggering, like, and it's just surveillance and monitoring. You know, they're monitoring your every move, chair, in the name of accountability partner. It's just weird, like, you know. And another thing that they do is love bomb. So you could do something like that, you just do it. I don't know, like maybe you're like my sister likes to bake. So let's say like you're good at baking, or let's say you sew, and let's say like you sew something for the pastor's wife and it's nice, but it's all right, it's nothing special. It's like, oh my God, I've never seen a dress so and so lovely in my life. This is so beautiful. Oh my God, you're a fashion designer, didn't it? You know, all of that. They just gas it up. Like it's all love bombing. It's all part of the technique. It's all part of what they're doing, like to make you feel special, to make you feel chosen. You know what I mean? It's like what a narcissistic man does, like when he's coming into the woman's life, you know, like when he's trying to like buy her like all these gifts and, you know, put his best foot forward. And that's exactly what they're like. And then they leave you high and dry. So Learning from many sources is healthy. You're allowed to question, compare, and choose your own teachers. I'm going to go soon, guys, because my throat, I'm so unwell. I'm so glad that I took the antidepressant, not antidepressants, I'll be taking them. The what are they called? Antibiotics. All right. A subversive associate constantly listens to tapes from external ministers and learns from them, but he never listens to his own head pastor's tapes. So you got to remember, this is a book written back in the day. Like they're very behind popular culture as well, because they're completely cut off from like the world. They create their own structures. They don't listen to worldly music. In my cult, they've got their own music with their own weird culture jargon. So it's like being in the mind of like, it's like Dag Heward-Mills world. It's so weird. Like even the red, like there's meanings behind colors and I believe this is all the occult. I believe all of it is dark magic, that they're working, and I will be able to join the dots soon. I've just got to be ready for it, because that truth, you know, the realization is this, it's gonna be a lot. All right. So this trains your nervous system to link loyalty with obedience, to one voice, one vision, one directive. That's like the dictatorship. That's the tyrannical reign, because no one can talk to Dag. No one can correct him. No, and he thinks he's hearing from God, but he ain't. He ain't. Look at all the stuff that's going on in these so-called ministries, all the people coming forward. There's no way God's in that. Guys, God sees what goes on behind closed doors. You've got to remember that. These people have gone to these guys and they've done nothing. Women, when men have eaten out of the great bowl and they've interrogated them and blamed them. And God is not in that. God is not there. How can God be there? Thanks, babe. How can God be there? Guys, they've been selling a false. Don't be afraid to deconstruct, man. Deconstruct. That's where your power lies. Be who you were meant to be, man. These cults, they know all the powers and secrets of the universe and the laws of the universe, and then they use it. And then they use it and they manipulate and they use dark knowledge, because they know that for lack of knowledge, our people perish. There's certain like universal truths that you can find no matter what religion, no matter in plants, you can find it in the mechanisms of how it rains. Do you understand what I'm telling you, lot? Like, this is deep, man. We are one. We are one with the universe. That's why they want us to be disconnected, man. We're destroying our planet. Can you imagine? It's so sad, man. Anyway, it's not spiritual growth, it's neurological conditioning. In Lifton's theory of Malal control, facts, Miss CHM, I don't want to leave you hanging. Yeah. Limiting what people hear or read stops them from developing independent inner voice. That's how you learn. That's why you go to uni. So do you see what I'm saying with the second genders? They've been force-fed this from birth, from in the womb. They've been exposed to this. It's so deep. Over time, survivors can lose confidence in their own intuition and critical thinking. And that is so sad. Curiosity is not rebellion, guys. You are not disloyal for seeking wisdom elsewhere, okay? You're not disloyal. I'm going to end on this one because there's so many good points. Let me end. All right, let me end on your loyalty must go to the higher authority. This is the most dangerous line. It builds a transcendental belief system. And it doesn't mean that your cult has to have this as a tagline. It may not be as RADICAL as Dag, to the point where he's immortalized it in a book. You might have been in a smaller cult. You might have been in a bigger cult. It's where he has less books, but more influence. But you will just see this as a common thread running through the cult, where everyone's loyalty and allegiance will be to the cult leader. That's why they're all out here like warring with me, like wanting to beef. And that's why I knew when I came out I would have to war everybody, because I know how I was down for my pastor. You all right? I knew I'd have to be prepared to do anything, and I mentally prepared myself for that. And what mentally prepared me for it, like nothing else could, was the cries of women who have been essayed and eaten out of the great bowl from pastors. It's enough, baby. It's enough. It's enough to make anybody switch off and not care about the consequences. Thank you, Queen J. It's enough, baby. That's all I'm gonna tell you. All right. So let's deconstruct this. So it's building this transcendental belief system where the leader's hierarchy replaces moral law. I'm going to say that again. The leader's hierarchy replaces moral law. That's why when you see these crazy street recruiters outside, like Ollie and Co, they're there warring with police officers. They believe, they're getting angry. They're getting angry because they've had so much control in the past. It's like, how dare you speak to me? It's it's pride wrapped in hyper religiosity. That's all it is. Thank you. I'm so triggered, but it's a relief to know I was not alone. Yeah, I'm triggered, girl. I'm so triggered. People like, you know, there's a survivor I speak to. I got to call her after. And she's like, Leah, I don't know how you do it. How you do it with like his picture up. You do it with it. But I've been through so much trauma. I can be as cold as ice, willing to save the vice. You know, I can do that art. I saw my boyfriend's body at 19 years old. He's unalived by the police. Yeah. Doesn't get more traumatic than that, does it? All right. So in Lallige's bounded choice model, this makes the group's authority the only moral compass. So your moral compass isn't just, you know, like that inner feeling that you know is right from wrong. No, I can tell a white lie to this person to get them to come on Sunday. It's for the greater good. It's for the greater good of mankind. And if we go by their Mosaic laws that they abide by in there, because they claim to be, you know, following our savior and this and that, but they're not. Most of these cults, yeah, are a mixture of Christianity, New Age Christianity, then like the Old Testament, the Mosaic laws mixed with Paulism. You know, all Paul's teachings, like Acts, like that. We might as well call them churches of Paul, Apostle Paul. That's what they need, and that's a completely different religion. And that's what they've done. They've just been given free reign to just do whatever they want, teach whatever they want. It's just absolute human fecal matter. So this is why I'm saying, like, the last thing you need to be doing if you're coming out of one of these religious spaces is cult hopping to another place and space of worship. What you need to stop running away from yourself. Sit with yourself. You don't like you. That's why. Thanks for the follow, Empire. Sit your backside inside. Read the Bible, baby. Learn to spend some time alone. Thank you. Learn to spend some time alone, because in these cults, we always had to be up underneath people's batteries. Even if it wasn't a lot of people, it could have only just been 5. And I've been trying to start this relationship, like this friendship with a survivor, yeah? And it was like she was getting triggered because I was trying to bring other people into it. But I just don't understand how to have this like one-on-one dynamic. The last time I had a one-on-one friendship, I was about 17 years old. Do you understand this, guys? This stuff is deep. So even dynamics like, you know, socializing, like getting out there, you could feel really odd and out of place because there's just been like, they've just messed up our neurosystem. So I would suggest this, and this is not gender specific, whether you're a guy or a girl. Nature is your blood clot friend. Get in nature, get in like the element of water. If you can, go for swims, go on nature walks. And what I say to a lot of survivors is just go walking and just record yourself. Don't record yourself with the mind that you're gonna put that content out. Record the content, because this is advice that one of my good friends gave me, and it was like my whole video. Yeah, go on holiday, travel. Yeah, go on spa breaks, massages, go on walks, do up the gym. Do you get what I'm saying, guys? You can even go but you can go into nature. You might be in the city. So actually taking that trip to go into nature, do you get what I'm saying? Kent's not far, guys. Jump on a little overhead. Do you understand what I'm saying? Go to a random place in Kent and go and find some nature chair. Get adventurous. We got to live life. Hey, Hills. So that's why many victims of assault, they never report it. And sometimes it's like whole families in this setting as well. So like, you know, like parents are thinking about their children. They're thinking about, because remember, a lot of the time in cults, it will be families, like whole family units in their jail. And that's why they do it. Hey, Perpy. That's why they do it. Perpy, did you just come on? Guys, I'm not going to lie, yeah, the more I deconstruct this, they have done us dirty. And, you know, there's been a lot of content coming out. So I think I'm going to have to do a live of like just grounding, just something to kind of just a little pick me up for us, because I know it is hard. Oh, yeah. And, you know, E, who spoke out, the survivor, you know, that king, you know, he's like, look at me begging it, the male version of me. That guy is bloody gorgeous. He looks like he's been sculpted by the gods, innit? Blood clot. Have you not seen him? Ross, look a cutie. Looks like a model chair. Chiseled. Have you seen him? What? So we're gonna do a live soon. And you know, that one's gonna be a lot, but we've got a live coming. I got some exciting stuff, guys. I got some exciting stuff coming in 2026, and I'm just gonna be on hustle grind mode because I got a lot of stuff coming for you lot in 2026. I'm so excited, and I can't believe I've managed to keep my mouth closed. He is absolutely beautiful, isn't he? He's just such a beautiful soul. You know what it is? You see beautiful people when they're beautiful inside. It's like you can see it radiating out of them. It's just lovely, isn't it? Anyway, let's get on to this bit. I just love him so much. That's why many victims of SA never report it. They were programmed to see outside help as sin, as the DEVIL. Do you see how that's the Milal control? That's the information control. Do you understand what I'm saying? So people are seeing, oh, police as the DEVIL. I have to receive this rebuke from the MOG. It is good for me that I am chastened. This is how they'll literally speak. It is good for me that I am chastened. Why do you speak to prophet like that? Don't speak to prophet like that. That's not how you should speak to prophet. You know what the Bible says. You know. That's how they talk. That's how they talk. There's a certain way they talk. That's indoctrination. They're speaking at you. There's no critical thinking. There's no common sense. They're not even, there's no rationale. They're not rationalizing that this pastor has just essayed a woman. It's like all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. That they're quoting things to you because they're just like robots. They've just messed up their mind, man. All right, this is the last one because Perp came late. A loyal person is open to his senior about whatever is going on. If I find out that he knew all along but said nothing, I will consider that he is disloyal. What the helly? What the hellionte? What the helly berry? That's why I said that prisoners have more privacy than us. You know, people who are locked up, they won't let me out. No. Do you see now? Because psychologically, because you see, like in jail, yeah, it's mind over matter. You're locked up physically, but you still have your mind. In here, it's kind of like in reverse. But some people have been on compounds. There's some people living on the compounds, aka Anakazo Bible schools, but mainly here in the UK, they colonize your mind. It's imprisonment of the mind. Hey, hands. So let's deconstruct this. This is psychological surveillance. It's also information control and gaslighting. And emotional control. It's meant to destroy privacy and create fear of secrecy. Another thing that they do up here is mystical manipulation. I saw in a dream this and that, and it's just like whatever. Sometimes, like, the girl has come forward and told the pastor she's sleeping with a guy, and he will literally do up so much mystical manipulation. Remember in NGRM, and I need to do some full content on it, where it's like they were manipulating the guy to pay to get the woman that he loved delivered. They were just rinsing him. And he's neurodivergent, so they take advantage of like neurodivergent men as well. All right. So this is part of confession control. That's why one of the characteristics or the tactics is this surveillance and confessional culture that they have. In cult psychology, this is part of confession control. The leader gathers personal information to maintain dominance. So he knows everybody's business in there, and there shouldn't be any secrets. Sorry, it's okay. Information to maintain dominance. It breeds anxiety, hypervigilance, and guilt for simply keeping personal boundaries. So we can see when the women want to keep personal boundaries when they're seeing a guy in the church cult, and then, you know, they're going to see that as disloyal. They're going to see that as demonic. They're going to see that as Jezebel. And then they just end up demonizing the woman and making her leave. So do you see why I say that you have to, like, reestablish your morals, create boundaries? What does that look like? What do those boundaries look like? Like, if like, message me before you call in it. Like, if you call, it's like there's just certain boundaries. Like, everyone doesn't just have access to me like that, because, you know, I understand my energy is expensive, my time and my energy that I put into things, and that's because I love myself. I'm precious, and you've got to be the same way as well, because sometimes some people are energy, they could suck your energy. So also when people call or they try and get in contact with you, think about, be aware, self-aware of what's going on around you in that moment. And if, oh my gosh, why does that person always call when I'm not available? You know, like, this is why I said you're one with the universe and self. Because what they've been teaching you is human fecal matter, guys. I'm only going to teach you I'm only going to, not even teach you, I'm only going to share with you, because I don't believe anyone can teach anything. The Holy Spirit is a teacher. How about that? I believe that, you know, these things that I'm sharing is like things that I've been through the fire, man. Like I've been through some real ish in my life, man. And it's as a result, like I really got these stripes, like I really got these scars. You know what I'm saying? And I just see life, and I feel like we think very similarly. Survivors, we've got this pattern recognition, you know, through the trauma we suffered. So as much as there's been a lot of trauma and there's been a lot of, come on guys, think about it. Anyone who's ever made it, like big time, done things to transform the world, they've always gone through really, really hard lives, a lot of trauma. I want to say something to empower us and build us up now, because this is quite heavy. And I want to let you know that you can turn your pain into purpose, and you can turn your mess into a message. You can go from powerless to being powerful. Do you know what I mean? We can take back our power. And this is what we're doing. It's the shadow work. It feels messy. It feels dark, you know, and because it is dark, but we've got to shine the light on the darkness, because guess what? The truth does set us free. And it's in unpacking this truth, as messy as it is and as traumatic as it is, we will be able to set ourselves free. It's running away from it that will keep us in chains, that will keep us bounded to this ish for a lifetime. And we deserve to be happy, because if you notice in cults, that's the one thing they demonize is happiness, but we deserve it. We deserve to be happy. We deserve to live our life like and be able to make choices ourselves. We've all been given free will. So please be kind to self, guys. I'm going to go because I feel absolutely awful. I'm so unwell. Guys, if I'm not back on the live later, it's because I'm sick. I might have to slow down. I think I'm going to have to slow down today. But if I do feel better later, I'll come back on. I love you guys so much. Please love yourself, because I love you, man. And nobody told you that they love you. I love you. Bye. I see you. Bye, Insta. See you soon. I gotta go, man. I thought I'm well. I gotta go, YouTube. I don't feel very good. I'll be back later.